So PC building throughout the years has become a lot more reasonable for most people. Now, a lot of people have been able to create some nice builds without really going over the top, or at the same time, they could create a really extensive build and throw a lot of money at their machine, and that would give them a net result that they were happy with. But a lot of people ask, why do people build it this way? I've had some different folks over at my house, and people have asked me, why does your computer look like that? Why does it look like you have a bunch of plumbing and piping in your computer? Now, what the things that I answer them with is, why not? They make the type of components and stuff like that that you can actually build your computer with, and why should I not build it if I can? What's going on, guys? Right in the eye here, coming back to you guys today with this video about my custom PC. This is the finished product of my current build right now. This is the two Titan X's, the 4790K AX1200i power supply, and a bunch of water cooling components and some other stuff. So we're going to break down exactly what I did here, everything that it's compiled of, and I'm going to let you guys know exactly how I built this machine. I'll be putting my hands in frame here every now and then and pointing out some stuff here. So let's get started. So the first thing you guys are going to look at here is the overall water cooling loop that I have here. So I have 3 radiators. I have a 360mm radiator on top, a 240mm radiator in the front, and a 120mm radiator in the back. Now, there's 2 different sizes of thickness radiators here. The ones up here, and the one up here in the front is the PE, which is about, I think it's 48mm thick, something like that. It's either 48 or like 36, 38, something like that. And the top one is also a PE radiator. You can see the nomenclature slightly up here where it says LC Solutions Coolstream SE. That is an SE radiator. It's single thick rad. It's about 25 to 28 millimeters thick. They are all mounted with EK Vardar fans. I made it purposely where none of the fans were present on the inside of the case. I wanted to look at nothing but fins from the radiators, so you can see the fins here as well as the top and the back. And all the fittings I'm using are EK custom fittings. These are all nickel plated right angle fittings, so all the right angles that you see here. So there's right angle here, there's one in the back here. We got a couple on the top right there, and then there's a 45 here. All the right angles are nickel plated fittings, and then the one 45-degree angle is a black fitting. Now I have 2 different types of ACF or advanced compression fittings here. So these are black, and then I have an Elox black. It's basically, one's a little bit more matty than the other one. One has a little shinier finish. These are black, and then the ones that you see over there that kind of look gray on the heats on the water block are the Elox black. Now, the reason why I did that is just because they didn't have enough black ones, and I wanted to make it look really good. And then the other fittings I have are part of these pre-filled. These are the water blocks that EK is offering on their website. They're offering, you can pay a $20 premium to get it pre-filled with quick disconnects on them. So I do have that here. I have a total of 3 quick disconnect sets. So male and female. There's one down here, quick disconnecting the bottom graphics card from the reservoir. There's a quick disconnect in between. So this tube here is connected to the other end of the inlet of the bottom graphics card. And then the inlet for the top graphics card is the one that goes around the back and then comes up, and then it connects into this piece here, which goes into the rest. So it makes it where I can quick disconnect my graphics cards out. I can just pop the graphics cards out if I need to, because the graphics cards are the ones that are mostly in the way. I mean, they're so big. So I wanted to make sure that I could take the graphics cards out in case I needed to mess with it and stuff. And that's basically why those are there. I will have an upcoming build soon, but we're not going to talk about that here. That's not going to use stuff like that, and it's going to be a little bit crazier, but we'll get to that at the end of this video. I'll tease some of this stuff here. So, some other thing, I have 32 gigabytes of Corsair Vengeance Pro memory there. That's 2400 megahertz. It's a bit dated now. We're looking at the 4790 and the Z97 platform here. 4790K overclocked to 4.7 gigahertz. I have it at 1.29 volts. Stable. It's pretty stable. I think I could even bring that voltage down a little bit more to be a little bit more effective as far as heat goes. I am using, I think it's, yeah, I'm using the exact amount, because you're supposed to have one 120mm radiator per core, so that's a CPU or GPU core in your machine, and then if you're going to overclock them, or if you plan to overclock them, then maybe 2. So I have a 240, a 360, and a 120. So that effectively gives me 2 360 rads So thinking about it that way, it gives me a decent amount of cooling. I do have 2 for each card, so 2 there for, let's just say, for the CPU block, and then we'll take 2 and then put it there, and the other 2 will be there. If you guys know what I'm saying, there's 2 120mm fans for each core that's in the system. I did the way I did the loop, it flows this way. So as you can, if you can see that there, I don't think you can see it, but it does say out of the reservoir, so it's going out of the pump into this rad here, which is then going into the CPU block. And doing it that way, it means that my all the fluid coming out of the GPUs is being cooled by just this radiator here. The reservoir has nothing to do with cooling performance. So it's all the heat coming from both Titan X's is being cooled by this rad, which kind of sucks because then it's passing all that extra heat that it couldn't cool to the CPU block. So my CPU temps kind of suffer a little bit from that, especially during the summertime. But then all the heat from the CPU gets cooled by a 360 and then a 120 in the back. Okay, so other thing I have in here is a sound card. That's the Creative Sound Blaster ZX. I think it might be the ZXR, because I have the dongle that sits on your desk and stuff like that. I do have the Corsair AX1200i power supply. I have custom backplates on there as well. These are the copper blocks, not the nickel-plated copper. I do have the nice ROG Swift SLI bridge there. And the motherboard is the Gigabyte Z97X Gaming G1. Ultra durable board, one of the highest end boards they make for the Z97 platform. And the res is the EK res. It's 100. It's the 100 one. I don't forget how the measures. It's 100mm or something like that. But yeah, it's the smallest one they make besides the new one they just made for ITX builds. And it fits barely under this graphics card, so it's pretty nice. And I got a custom cable kit from the folks over at Corsair for that, all red. And that's pretty much it. I do have 2 SSDs in the back there. I got 2 Samsung 850 Pros, 256 gigs. One of them is the boot drive, and the other one is for games and stuff like that. And I have a 3TB Seagate hybrid drive here. In that slot there is the NZXT Hue Plus that's giving you all the nice lighting here, which I can change over here. Let me throw on some other cool stuff. So I can give you guys this here. This is the Spectrum Wave, so I can do that for you. Gives you a nice little light show, which is pretty cool. The case is the Corsair 780T, and that's pretty much it. I think I ran through everything. Like I said, 4790K, and that's my build. That's the build I'm running with right now. I'm gonna tease now. I have a new build coming up, and I have 2 1080 graphics cards from EVGA Founders Editions going in there. Of course, we're gonna attach some full cover water blocks. I have a new case, the 900D. I'm going to put a massive water cooling loop in there with a Boradwell-E CPU, and that CPU is in between the 6900K or the 6850K. I haven't decided yet, either $1,000 or about $600. And the motherboard is pretty much lock solid on the new Asus Rampage Edition 10 motherboard. I mean, I could be maybe convinced to go with the Strix, but I don't see any reason why I should, because I'm already willing to spend the money on that Edition 10 Rampage, so I might as well just go with that. Well, alright guys, this has been Right in the Eye here. Back to you guys with this video about my custom build. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, everything is using EK Vardar fans all around. I do have one special intake one here, and that's about it. Alright guys, well I'm going to get on out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please support my channel by liking this video and sharing it with your friends, and please subscribe for more content. Again, I will have that 1080 video up relatively soon. Within the next month it'll be built. Thank you guys very much.